Hi everyone, my name is Junon. I have a health science background and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy, How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is about the MBTI personality type assessment of Oprah because of a recent very controversial interview of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. The MBTI personality types can be grouped into four main ones. The first one are sensor judgers, second, sensor perceivers, third one is intuitive thinkers, and the last one is intuitive feelers. To me, Oprah is an intuitive feeler, and I'll explain why. The first thing that you probably notice Oprah is that she's a very feminine energy. I mean, that is the first thing that people notice. In other words, she's very compassionate. She's someone who leads with her heart. And what is interesting is that if you look at the main personality type, the sensor perceivers tend to be the ones who make the most money because they are the businesswoman, businessman, the entrepreneurs, the actresses, the singers. So in other words, the more people you can serve, the more you're likely to be financially compensated for that. But with Oprah, although she's a billionaire, we can sense that this was not her life goal. So, in other words, she stumbled on being very financially successful. But really, Oprah, in terms of theme of her life, I would say it is about meaning and spirituality. If you've watched the Oprah Winfrey show, everything has a meaning to it. Everything has to be dissected. It's like, so she's obsessed with finding some kind of a deeper understanding of life. And because she was so good at it, that's how she became rich. But it was not her goal based on, I think, when you look at personality types. And Oprah, how we know that she's very empathetic is that she's the type who is a people pleaser. And she's mentioned that in some of her interviews that she wanted so much people to like her. And this type of need for group harmony and to be liked is very much something you will see with people who are extroverted feelers. And I would say that Oprah is probably an extrovert feeler in terms of the first function would be that. And based on the fact that she very much wants to help others, you can tell. I mean, I remember like a story when she first started and she was a reporter. She was more concerned about bringing, let's say, blankets and other supplies to someone who was like, let's say, their house burned down, and she was unable to keep sort of an emotional distance from, let's say, the people she was interviewing. So this is something that was detrimental to her as a reporter, but works well if you're a talk show host. So a lot of people feel comfortable opening up to Oprah. So I would type her as an intuitive feeler because although other personality types are empathetic, but not to that degree where it's it dominates their lives. So again, I would put her as the first function as an extrovert feeler. And Oprah seems to be the judger type, so she likes things to be organized. She's also careful when it comes to her spending because when you think about when you are a billionaire, you could easily get into financial trouble if you don't have good accounts, know where all the money goes. And Oprah, in terms of some of her interviews, she did mention that she's very careful with her spending, and even when she started making more money, she sort of wondered, okay, am I going to lose it? And she didn't drive like a really expensive car, so she bought like really economical, vehicles because she wanted to be able to keep paid cash. And even in terms of like not wanting to do anything that is illegal when it comes to her finances. So she's someone who's very careful with her spending. And she seems to be the type to be quite reliable. Like probably her friends, when they say they're in crisis, they know they can reach Oprah very quickly. And she seems rather down to earth as well. So based on how she managed, in terms of her finances and how the whole organization seems to be solid in terms of her own network that she created, I would type Oprah as a judger. Now, the other point is that you have to wonder, okay, is she an INFJ or an ENFJ? But I would say that Oprah is probably an ENFJ. The other point is that what she studied in university. So she went for something that is very much right brain dominant, but also she seems very good in terms of language, writing, and not so much scientific. And if someone is an INFJ, the INFJ could go back and forth in terms of they can do math, calculus, organic chemistry, and Oprah doesn't seem that type. And so, if someone has extra feeling as their first function, they are a very feminine energy, and they're less likely to be able to use their left brain. So they're not attracted to topics or even fields of study that are very much rely on logic and math and science. Also, in terms of a relationship, to be very close. So she has her best friend Gail that she's had since they were in their 20s, if I'm not mistaken. So her relationship style is feminine, orderly. So these are people who like a lot of intimacy and closeness and reliability in their relationship. That's why, in terms of Stedman, he comes across also as a judger, so someone who's very reliable and very reachable. So probably that's one aspect why they are connected like that. So to summarize, I would type Oprah as an ENFJ based on her desire to really understand people. She's very right brain dominant. The theme of her life is really spirituality and meaning. She's someone who also tends to be reliable, responsible. So you see that when it comes to the J, but she's not rigid. So she's not someone who is like a censor judger who's very sort of into minutia. So Oprah would not be the type to like administrative work. But she would be very much interested in exploring other aspects of art because she's very right brain. So that's why she was even an actress. She takes roles every once in a while. But although she did acting, but she's not an actress. Although she very much succeeded in terms of financially, she's a billionaire, but she's not entrepreneur. In other words, it's just a means to an end more than an end in itself of either being an actress or being financially successful. That's not what her goal is. So for all these reasons, I think that she fits this profile. So let me know if you agree with this personality type assessment. You can obviously comment below. So if you enjoyed this video, please click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.